I'll tell you what I might need, Greg, is I might need like a cushion. Have you got like a pillow or a cushion?
A pillow or a cushion?
You've got a cushion I can sit on to give me a bit of height.
What are we doing with the...
Do you notice I was early today?
Yeah, you were. Yeah, fair play.
I've got some wicked notes, lads. I made some great notes this morning. I was up early this morning doing some analysis on Italy and what went wrong for England.
Wow.
Stand by for that.
Okay.
So just tee me up, JT.
Can I have a pillow, please, as well, Greg?
You need a quilt. You'll be asleep.
Right, come on in.
Come on in. Here we go.
Here's Jason Mohammad in that famous Cardiff City shirt. He'll be the one to take the free kick, stands over the ball, 25 yards out. Bellamy to his right, curls it. Oh my word, what a finish! A beauty from Mohammad. Keeper absolutely no chance.
So here we go at Craven Cottage, a cold and frosty New Year's Day, and it is Fulham who get us underway. And Hamill picks up the ball and shoots. What a goal! Past the Mansfield Town keeper Jason Trinder and into the top corner with only 7 seconds on the clock. Trinder was still waving to the fans. That has to be a record. Fulham lead 1-0.
Cardiff City on the attack down the right-hand side here in Indian Park, heading towards the Grange end. Talisman Phil Stant has the ball, looking for Robbie James, passes it back, finds Robbie James. Now Robbie James is looking for somebody. He crosses in, he finds somebody. It's Andy Gorman, bullet header, back of the net. Andy Gorman scores for Cardiff City in front of the Grange end, and they're bouncing around like Zebedee.
Hello and welcome again to A Bit of Blue Euro Trash, the biggest and the best Euro 2020 podcast with me, Jason Trinder.
Me, Andy Gorman.
And me, Jason Mohammad. I'm still here with these two idiots. Someone please come in and rescue me.
Yes, coming up in today's show, we'll be talking about Wales, England, Scotland and all the other Euro nations. We've also got Cardiff City, Scotland legend, super Kev Mcnaughton.
Get in.
Oh, what a guest,
Get
boys.
in.
And we'll also be announcing our latest competition winner, so stay tuned for that. Lots coming up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, boys. Can I first of all say that the reaction we've had on Twitter and on Instagram has been sensational, hasn't it, lads? So many lovely comments about this podcast. Thank you all very much indeed for downloading, listening and tweeting. Isn't that right, Jason?
Unbelievable, Jason. And we were talking about this in the car on the way over.
Yeah.
Just about the amount of times you say amazing and fantastic.
I know. I was just about to say it then as well. I said, no, I just stopped myself from doing it. But to be fair...
You've got to do that, Jace. You've got to count how many times he goes, amazing, yeah?
Amazing, fantastic. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, the people who normally would be dropping money into a hat on Albany Road were coming up to me and saying how good the podcast was.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, what we've been doing apart from watching the football this week, been up to much, Jace?
I did a virtual award ceremony from the comfort of my living room, so we may as well get that out of the way before we go any further, because I think you're going to have a go at me.
You cover up the shiner that you
I
had?
did, yeah. It went down after 2 days, mine, so it can't have been that good a punch.
Did it? And of course, you had one of your dogs join you as well on there.
Yeah.
I did see that.
The audience of 2,000 people watching around the UK wanted to see the dog instead of my ugly mug, which is not a great sign, is it?
You weren't late for that, were you, obviously?
No. They paid me really well, so I made sure I was there in time, unlike you two clowns.
What else have you been up to then, Andy? You've got some new tyres this week. Got some new tyres from Avon.
Yeah, I did. That's
What?
Right. Yeah, they smell lovely.
New tyres from Avon?
Yeah, got 2 new tyres. It came with a free mascara.
Yeah, and a concealer. Haven't you seen my eyes?
Well, you need it, mate. You need it, that's for sure.
So you know, you got Pirelli and Michelin and who's the other one?
Oh, I only use Continental tyres.
Continental. Yeah. Avon.
Avon.
Ding dong. Tyres for Mr. Gorman.
Unbelievable
Here's your
scenes.
mascara as well.
Incredible scenes. You are looking good, And.
Wow.
Well, he's been to the gym as well this week, you know.
Who?
Andy.
No way.
Yeah. He does those new things that you do at the gym, the diddly squats.
Diddly squats. I just like to say congratulations.
What?
Congratulations
We'll edit that
on the Olympics as well. So.
Oh, thanks, And.
There we go.
That's really kind.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Andy.
So we have to, obviously, we give a shout out to our sponsors as we do. So we're extremely thankful to them. Ice Stadia, Hawks, also Zenith, Kestrel Construction, QTS, all those people.
Well done, guys.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for your support.
However, today, guys...
Yeah.
I've got something quite serious and important to say. We're dedicating this show today to the charity that's on our website. Go to the website, www.abitablue.co.uk. click on the charity link and you'll see them there. It's the Motivation and Learning Trust, or MLT. It's a fantastic charity. I know Jason's seen the good work that they do as well. It's for young learners developing a career either in the armed forces or in general employment. Incredible organisation. They've obviously suffered a lot, like a lot of charities during lockdown. But myself and Jason have witnessed the amazing work that charity does to help young people.
Yeah.
So if you can, please go to the website, click under our charity, donate whatever you can. If you know a young person who needs a bit of help or guidance in these difficult times, then please speak to the MLT and the MPCT, because I promise you'll be hard-pushed to find a better organisation that sets up these young people for life's challenges and gives them tremendous career opportunities.
Well said.
Brilliant.
Well
So
said.
that's the MLT. Woo! That's what this show's dedicated to. So please go and see them. And yes, thanks for all your lovely messages about the preview podcast in episode 1. We're genuinely moved by them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, this is the podcast, A Bit of Blue. It's all about you, the fans. Get involved. We've had some great questions come in. We've got some prizes to give away. And, Jason, we've got some more sock stuff, haven't we?
Yeah, so thanks to the Sock Council on Twitter. Have a look at them, at Sock Council. Basically, we put out our question of the week this week. It was more of an experience, wasn't it, lads? It was, a lot of people said that Wales' win against Turkey in the European Championships was one of the best of all time. So we asked, what is the greatest Welsh win of all time? Well, we had a terrific response, and I think we've chosen a winner. And I think the winner is Hugh, isn't it? Hugh Moores.
It is.
Yeah.
Hugh Moores. He sent us one of many of the great memories that you, the listeners, had. But he went to watch the Brazil game, the Wales-Brazil game.
When Dino scored.
I went to that as well.
Was that the first game of the Millennium Stadium?
No. It was in the Arms Park.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Old Arms Park.
What was the first game
It was
of
that
the
Umbro kit as well. Do you remember that really cool Umbro kit we had with the button on as
It
well?
was indeed. You're right. I remember it was in the Arms Park because I fell down the stairs with a drink to my hand. I did. Another
That's
wrist injury.
unusual. That's unusual. But basically, what we asked was best Welsh win, but you had to supply a picture, a video, a story. And Hugh Moores basically said, mine is when we beat Brazil 1-0. The best bit is I was invited to the game by Brazil's team manager. Long story.
Yeah.
Went back to the Caldra House Hotel, which was then the Celtic Manor, and celebrated a great win amongst the Brazilian players. Funny thing, they never invited me back. Good story, that.
I want to hear more about that.
Totally.
I want to hear more.
We're going to
about
get
that
more
as well.
detail from you. Don't you worry.
Because can you imagine that, getting invited back to the team hotel and just going on the lash with the Brazil players?
Imagine that. That'd be fantastic.
I mean, who doesn't like a good Brazilian?
Well, exactly.
Depends what hotel you go to.
So we had a big shout out to some of the other people though who got in touch though, Jace, as well.
Yeah.
Before we go any further,
for
Ian,
it.
big fan of the show, says 2002 win against Italy. That had everything. The Mannix, John Charles, that save from Jones and Gattuso getting subbed on and off. That was good. Normans went for the old Belgium 2016 European Championship quarter final. David Collins went 3-0 Russia in that championship. He said it's one of the greatest results in Welsh history. Steve sent in an amazing picture. Jace, I knew you saw this on Twitter as well because you commented on it as well. It was the semi-final against Portugal in 2016. So great reaction, guys.
Brilliant,
Thank you all
thank you.
very much for your comments. But it's Hugh Moores who gets the socks for the win
Well
against
done,
Brazil.
Hugh. Well done, Hugh.
There you go, Hugh. Enjoy those. We'll get them out to you as soon as possible. So,
Can I just say something here as well?
Yeah, of course you can.
Go
Well,
on,
it's...
Do you have
Go on
to?
then.
Does he have to?
Does he
There
have
we go.
to?
Well, the first podcast we heard about Jason's nightmare after 7 seconds. The second podcast we heard about my worldie goal.
No,
it was a
So I
worldie.
think we just need to hear
No.
JMO's
No.
goal here.
No, not having any of that.
All right.
I can't believe what's happening here.
Know me.
Why? What's he doing to me, and?
I know.
So you get your moment in the sun. I'll tell you what, I'll make it easy for everyone.
Can you just make it quick?
I
then?
will.
'Cause,
Okay.
I mean,
All right, okay.
You know,
Jace,
have you got that fork?
Jace,
handy
you're one of my
again, Greg?
best mates, right? You're one of my best
The
mates.
machete.
I can't believe that Andy's teed me up and you said no,
Yeah.
right? So I'll keep it very, very brief.
Thank you.
Kevin Mcnaughton, guest of the show today, by the way. Kevin Mcnaughton is our guest today. He invites me to his testimonial.
Super Kev.
Super Kev.
Craig Bellamy brings me on at half-time. I was happy to play just one half. We won a free kick outside the box. Craig Bellamy says to me, go on, Jace, curl it over the wall, over Hudson, Mark, and into the bottom corner. I stepped up, I hit it, I scored. End of story. I don't need to spend hours and hours like you two clowns.
No, you just spent...
I hit it, I scored, I went off, I went home. That's what I do. I turn up, I win. Next.
But you spent the last couple of years not shut up about it. That's the thing.
Well, anybody that
I turn up, I win. Next.
Anybody that wants to go and have a look at that free kick,
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'd like your comments about what the keeper was doing.
Yeah, well, Mark Lawrenson was on Football Focus because I insisted they ran it on Football Focus the following Saturday.
Did they?
Yeah, and so Dan Walker linked into it with Kev Kilban and Loro in the seat, and they showed the clip, right? And Loro said, he said the keeper's going to hospital next week to have his arm sewn back on. And Kev said, I cannot believe Mohammad just hit that free kick. So fair play. 2 million people saw that on BBC One television.
Was a really good goal. Fair play to you.
Thanks, And. You're a
there we
legend.
go.
Thank you very much indeed. And Jace, before you ask, I'd have stuck it past you as well. Don't you worry.
You're having a laugh.
You'd still be climbing.
Seriously?
Of course I would have. It had so much zip and dip on it, you'd never have got anywhere near it.
Well, obviously, the Euros, which is what we're here for, chaps.
we?
You know.
Well, I know, exactly, yeah. Well, if you cracked on with it, we talk about some
Exactly.
European
Well, I'm trying,
championships
yeah,
instead of you giving everyone a shout-out.
It's like working with amateurs.
Amateurs.
So, yeah, but come on, Wales, 2-0.
Hang on, you were going to say goalkeeping errors. What is it? We're intrigued now.
Oh, there was a clip on. There was a
The clip on
wasn't there?
social media, that guy.
Yeah. Straight out like the Jason Trinder school of goalkeeping, that was.
I think, was it Canada? Was it
Yeah, it
Canada?
was Canada.
It was
Yeah.
against Canada, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, goalkeeper mistake. He's took the eye off the ball.
Twice.
You know, similar to your football career a bit, Andy.
Bit like my broadcasting
and your
career.
broadcasting career, Jay. Got that
After
written
this,
down here.
I've taken my eye off the ball by turning up with you two clowns.
But these
I didn't
things
get the
happen.
Euro 2020 gig. Instead, I'm spending my Saturday afternoon with you two idiots.
But these things happen,
So
don't
lucky.
they? Do you know what I mean? It's how that goalkeeper mentally comes back stronger and bounce back stronger. That's what it's all about.
Alan Partridge,
Yeah.
bouncing back.
Bouncing back.
Bouncing
yeah.
back. Goalkeepers always get remembered for their mistakes. So, and your family will understand that, Andrew, when the day you were born.
Well, I was actually born Friday the 13th, born the wrong way round and broke my mum's coccyx on the way out. So.
I rest my case.
There you go. My mum's never spoken to me, and I'm 46.
So, yeah, listen, Wales 2, Turkey 0. Great result and a great performance from the lads. I don't think any of us can sit here and pick faults with any of those players.
Not at all.
Not
It was
at all.
a complete international performance, wasn't it, Andy?
It was really good, and at the end of the day, you've got to beat what's in front of you. So, you know, Turkey didn't particularly do well in the
Thanks,
previous.
What a great analysis
Yeah,
that
exactly.
is.
There you go.
You know,
Right, I'm off.
there's a bloke, right? The butcher's round the corner, right? The butcher's. There's a guy who sits at the bar, and he sits there and he says, "Yeah, Leighton Baines is good over a free kick." Right? Should we get him in? Because that's the sort of insight we need here.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Andy.
Yeah.
Well, you got to beat what's in front of you, Jason and
Yeah.
Jason.
Well, I'll go and sit at the bar, the butcher's then.
This game's got 0-0 written all over
Exactly.
it, unless somebody scores.
Andy Gorman. It's end-to-end stuff. Back to you.
Andy Guardiola.
Yeah. Andy, over to Andy Gorman in Baku. I think Wales have scored a second goal, Andy.
Have they?
Have they? I don't know, Jeff.
Unbelievable, Jace.
Can I just say this, though? Let's temper this, right, as well, though, because let's face it, boys, that was a very poor Turkey side. Good win, good professional win, had to be done, but that was a rubbish. They had nothing going forward.
Well, they got stuffed, didn't they?
You did. Jace, what do you think?
Yeah, they did. I mean, they were poor against
They
Italy.
were poor.
They were poor against...
Thank you.
They were poor against Italy, weren't
No one
they?
else did.
That's Greg, our magnificent producer, audio engineer extraordinaire, saying, I got that gag, Andy.
Thanks,
Jason
Greg.
and I,
I'll give you a
Jason
tenner
and I,
after, yeah.
Greg, Jason and I ignored it. That was the whole idea.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right, carry on,
like I say-
Jason, with your fantastic footballing insight. Well, that was quick. Next.
I thought Danny Ward was absolutely superb.
Oh, here we go again. You are allowed
God.
to talk about outfield players.
You can't.
Don't
That's
know
the
anything.
problem. Doesn't know anything, Jay.
Exactly.
Why
exactly.
would I be bothered about all the other stupid positions on a football pitch?
Can we say
All
this,
these-
though, lads? This is the podcast that everyone listens to.
Yep.
We know that from Twitter and Instagram as well. And can I just say, we were totally right. Last week, we talked about Aaron Ramsey and how important it was. He played as a 10. That tackle he made, that last-ditch tackle in the box was incredible.
Brilliant.
And it's what you said last week, isn't it? You've got to get Ramsey up the pitch, further up the pitch.
You do. You really do. He needs the ball, and when he did have the ball, I thought he was man of the match.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah. How did Bale win man of the match?
I don't know. That's
He missed a
crazy.
penalty.
I know.
He didn't just miss it. as
No,
well.
quite right.
Yeah.
That
Still going.
That
Shocking penalty.
That landed in the pit lane, I think, in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix circuit. That one.
They still haven't found the ball.
But
Well, he's not the player he was, Bale, is he? Let's face it.
He's lost a bit of pace as well. And cracking player, but
Yeah.
he has lost that bit of pace. But
Well,
what a win, though.
like he said, he came back and the last couple of corners, obviously we got that winner from a little bit of genius that he's obviously still got about him. to get us a win. And obviously, going back to what you're saying about being right, Jason, I think you'll find I was right about the lack of centre forward for Scotland as well.
Yeah, well,
So
I think
Pep
in a
Guardiola-
way, I think you are right a little bit. You're a little bit right, but
A little bit right.
you're mostly wrong.
I'm 100% right. Scotland haven't got anybody to put the
Okay,
ball
just
in the back of the
remind,
net.
so new listeners tuning in, remind everyone what you said.
I said they've only got 3 strikers, so they're going to struggle to get goals. And you went, oh, yeah, thanks a lot, Chase. Have you know the false 9 and all this lot? Yeah, that's what people are playing these days.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that one. And
sorry,
I am actually
Pep
hold my hand up here. And this is podcast number 3. And I'm going to hold my hand up and say he's right on this one.
Well, I thought that was a great impression of you, Jay, then as well. Anyway, so.
Is that what I speak like?
BBC Radio Wales.
Lines are open.
And here he is, Joseph from Wattsville.
I think he's right, though. In a way, he's right, because Dykes had that chance, didn't he? And then Che Adams had that chance that Che had at the far post. That was difficult, though, wasn't it, boys?
It was. Well, the Che Adams chance right at the start of the game as well. You know, that could have been...
Are we saying Che or Shea? Because he's going Che.
Che.
You're saying Shea.
Am I?
Yeah.
Should we just call him Adams?
Yeah.
Adams, yeah. He used to play for the team I played for in Leicester. Big shout out to Obi Town, all the boys there. Big up. Sorry, carry on.
No idea where that is. Any idea?
No.
When did you play there, Jays? 1841.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Scotland's inability to score is what's going to get them knocked out of the championship.
I thought Scotland deserved to win last night. 100%.
Yeah.
I thought they were unlucky. I thought England were very, very poor.
I do.
And I think England have got big problems. You know, when you're starting to dig out Kane, Foden, Grealish, Sterling already after game 2, then you've got problems.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether or not they had a bit of nerves that they shouldn't do. The players are this standard and they've played in Champions Leagues and, you know, World Cups and Euros. So I don't really buy the argument, froze or a bit nervous and things like that. These guys are playing in big games week in, week out. They just got outplayed, I think, by an out battle by Scotland.
I think you've got to take your hat to Scotland, though. I thought
Absolutely
they played really, really well. Really well, I have to say. And they were unlucky not to win it.
Yeah.
But then again, if John Stones, if that header goes in, and Marshy was nowhere, was he, for the ball hitting the post as well? If that goal goes in, it could have easily been 2-3-0 England, couldn't it?
Yeah,
Let's face it.
But that goal from John Stones, or that chance from John Stones,
he's got to score.
Should have gone in.
Yeah, good point. No, absolutely,
but
Jason.
It didn't.
Absolutely. My star man, though, was Billy Gilmour, because I thought he was absolutely terrific last night. Because let's face it, Scotland absolutely bossed that midfield. Did you think, Andy?
I do, definitely. Absolutely right. They, as I said, Scotland did really well, and I think you just made a valid comment there as well to say that I think if that goal goes in from Stones, then it would have been 2 or 3-0. And I was saying whilst watching it, if they score 1, they'll score 3.
Yeah.
So with Scotland getting to half time, manager must have turned around and said, we've done amazingly well, let's just do exactly the same as what we're doing and we'll get a chance or two. And they did. But again, going back to JT's point here, now, for once I'll agree with him.
Nobody stick the ball in the back of
exactly.
Yeah, don't keep saying it, Jace, otherwise his head will get too big.
Yeah.
Can I just make this point as well, though, boys? Because you played the game at the very top level, right? So,
Oadby Town.
And what I loved about the way Scotland went at it, without flying into tackles, right? Dykes very early on put one on Shaw after about 7 or 8 seconds, and then Gilmour put one on Mount as if to say, "Look, I know you from our club. I'm here tonight." There was something about it, the physicality. They just got into England and got into their faces, got stuck into them. You know.
You can actually see in the game though as well that Scotland, they knew that they weren't at a similar level to England, but they just did exactly what you just said there and thought, right, come on, let's bully them.
And I tell you who else impressed me, boys, was Scott McTominay in that unfamiliar role. He played at right centre-back, didn't he? And initially I thought, because I texted you two boys, didn't I, say, if England are going to score, it's Sterling down that...
Did you text me?
Oh, I text Andy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason.
That's right,
I'm going to say, because I blocked you.
Sterling was having some fun. Sterling was having some fun with McTominay, and I thought it's going to come down that channel. But all of a sudden, he just grew in stature, didn't he?
He did. And just to say that Jay only texts people who know anything about football, so...
Yeah, quite right. Yeah. It's our own little exclusive group.
That's right.
It's called Euro 2020 Analysis, Pep Guardiola style.
Yeah. So good win for Wales. Scotland unlucky. Italy 3, Switzerland 0. The Italian train keeps rumbling on.
Wow.
Still no goals conceded.
Unbelievable.
And they've scored about 180 goals in the last 4 games.
What, are you in goals?
Chances chances of them beating Wales?
Chances galore. Right then, I was up early this morning and I did some analysis. So I got my laptop out and I watched the Italy win against Switzerland. So just bear with me, right? Okay?
I got my laptop out this morning for different reasons as well, so...
Oh, go on, man.
Anyway, I got my laptop out this morning.
I was looking for more tyres.
I got my laptop out this morning and
Avon.
and I watched the Italy-Switzerland game back thinking that someone's got to do some work around here to elevate this podcast to acceptable broadcasting levels. And you know that Locatelli, for me, I think he's been the star man so far of the tournament. Locatelli's been incredible. There's the pass to Berardi, right? You know this one? When Locatelli scores?
Uh-huh.
Did you see the game, boys? Yeah. Why are you looking at me like as if to say, did this actually happen? This was a game. You've got to start doing some work, lads.
He's still thinking about tyres.
Locatelli, he's still crestfallen by what you just said about your laptop. Locatelli passes this ball to Berardi. He hits it first time. He's gone. The Trinder's gone. And I'll talk to you.
Right, go on, talk to me, Jay.
So Locatelli hits that pass first time on the volley, out wide to Berardi. Mm-hmm. Berardi ran at pace, beat the defender, squares it. Locatelli's there to tap it in. It was the first goal against Switzerland.
Fantastic goal. Yeah.
Are we going to have to retake this or what?
Yeah.
We'll have to retake. Trinder's gone. His eyes are gone. We'll keep this in. This is hilarious.
Is it a good time to open my Stan Bennett agreement?
Oh, God. You've got to compose yourself, kid.
No.
Are you okay to carry on?
Yeah, well, I'm okay now, yeah. I just had to distract myself from...
It was hilarious. What a line. What a line. So shall I pick up... Do you know the goal I'm on about?
Sorry, I wasn't listening to the words you were saying.
Too busy
do you know the goal I was on about, Andy?
I do.
Do I need to get my YouTube up and show you this?
I'll get my laptop out as well if you want.
Check out the tyres on that. Right, can we just go on? Yeah, great goal by, I don't know, were you on about super glue or something? Is that super glue?
No, Locatelli.
No, why? Where were you? You said Italy, they're fantastic.
Yeah, Italy 3, Switzerland 0.
I'll just pick up with my analysis, shall I?
Yeah.
Anyway, Locatelli hits this pass to Berardi. Berardi runs at pace and I'll talk to you because you played at fullback. Beats the defender, squared it. Locatelli kept his run going, tapped it in. Boys, football, it's a simple game. Italy are doing everything that no other team in the European Championships are doing.
Didn't see it.
But Jace, do you know what I mean? It's a simple game, isn't it? You know, it's a simple game.
It is a simple game.
Italy are doing that very well. Whether or not later on in the tournament, when they come up against a bit better opposition,
yeah, true, yeah.
We'll see how they go then.
Yeah,
but they look strong though, don't they?
They do.
And there was another chance that Berardi had. He's been brilliant. I think somebody mentioned him, didn't he? Who was it? Did you mention Berardi or was it Insigne you mentioned, Jason?
Insigne and Immobile.
Yeah, Berardi shot over, right? And I timed this. So this is the work I was doing this morning while you two idiots were still in bed, right? On one attack, 11.92 seconds, 11 touches of the ball, 2 passes to Berardi. Yes, he shot over, but the reason I did this is because Italy did everything in that game that England simply could not do yesterday.
Yeah.
In terms of speed and getting up the pitch and.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, we mentioned earlier about some of the kids' football where even now the kids are actually passing the ball back continuously.
Yeah, why is that?
And I get that, but not all the time. And England just looked one-dimensional and they just didn't have a plan B.
So do you think then, Jace, do you think it's because the kids are watching so much football on the telly where it's all now, we've turned into possession-based football, that's the reason why the kids are passing the ball backwards so often?
Absolutely. You know, and the kids are frightened to go forward and show that sort of attacking, flair.
Yeah, that's worrying,
players,
though, isn't it? If that's the development of footballers in this country.
And they're watching teams play and set themselves up like this, and the kids will go, "Oh, yeah, it's easy. Just pass it back to the centre half, and it goes out to the right or goes out to the left, and pass it into the midfield, pass it back again, back to the defenders, and we look really good, don't we? Oh, no, sorry, wait, It's football, but it's just not exciting.
Yeah. Well, here's the stat of the week: 95% of goals are scored by or are created by mistakes. So then kids are scared to make mistakes, where if they'd watched me, there was a lot of mistakes when I played.
Well, quite right, yeah.
Thanks.
We've got one lined up for you.
Yeah,
Here it is. The other thing I will say as well, boys, I thought Dan James as well, he gives us such a great dimension, because we really wanted Harry Wilson to start, didn't we?
Yeah.
Again, we all looked at each other when the team sheet came in and thought, oh, same side, no Harry Wilson. But Dan James, if there's one big criticism that United fans say of him as well, when he plays for United as well, the end product, it's still not there with Dan James.
Yep.
That ball in, when he makes that fantastic break in the last couple of minutes when Harry Wilson's on, all he's got to do is slide that in, and instead he practically crosses it to one of the smallest players on the pitch.
I think that you kind of like the young players who can do that now. It's embedded in them. But I think as Dan James gets better and better and better, he's not going to lose that pace for a good few years.
You mean the variety of pass when you're in that position?
Or
that's a great point.
Because he's ran for probably 60 or 70 yards, so he's obviously. The lactic acid is burning up in his legs, and to be able to slide it, to slide it. It's hard.
It's that decision making at the very top level, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's what it is, Jason, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same for goalkeepers.
Flipping heck.
They've got to decide whether or not to come for a ball or, be that.
That's a great point.
We've seen those mistakes.
Totally. Big question.
Marshy's made.
What did you make of Pickford last night? I thought he was decent last night.
Brilliant. Yeah, I thought he was very good. Certainly England's best player by a mile.
Yeah.
Once again, we're going to treat the listeners to an amazing guest. We've had Jermaine Beckford on the show, on the preview show. Last week, Neil Taylor. We've only got to pull it out of the bag again. I know it's hard to believe that this is possible and we're doing this, but we have got a tremendous guest for you today.
Legend.
It's none other than ex-Cardiff City Bluebirds legend and Scotland's Kev Mcnaughton. Super
Kev. There he is. All right, Kev, looking good, fella. How you doing?
A wee bit rough around the edges after last night, but I've got a little Peroni next to us now, which is curing us.
Very nice. That's what you need, isn't it, boys?
That's the way. Yeah,
what did you think of that performance last night, Kev? You must be happy. A lot of happy Scotland fans. I thought you were unlucky. I thought you should have won.
I do.
Yeah, thought maybe nick it, but before I wasn't confident before the game. To be honest with you, just after the performance in the first match, I thought we were a bit ropey at times, but it was good, very good. Thought our compact shape was good. Just still a wee bit toothless up top, but I'm glad that Croatia actually have to go and win the game as well on Tuesday. I think that gives us a wee bit of a chance. Obviously, both teams have got to go for it, so it might open things up a bit for us.
Yeah, we did point that out, and I'll point it out again to the lads here, and they'll probably have a go at me. But I was concerned about the lack of strikers or striking options that Scotland have got, and I think that sort of proved itself a little bit last night with in front of goal. Yeah,
definitely. I think that's been a problem over the last few years. To be honest, we've not really produced any sort of somebody's going to go to a tournament and get maybe 4 or 5 goals. Somebody like that, it's a Harry Kane or I think the difference between Scotland and Wales really is the two boys. You've got Bale, you've got Rambo as well. I think you're probably missing somebody like that. Just that one player that maybe
you need a big Duncan Ferguson, don't you?
Yeah, big Dunk. Sort of Kenny Miller kind of had that role for Scotland and a few others, but
absolutely.
I think we've always missed that one player.
I think that the same can be said about the first game, Kev. Against Croatia, not Croatia, sorry, against the other teams. I can't remember now. Yeah, Czech Republic. Yeah, again, you had a couple of chances there. That if you had a player who could put the ball in the back of the net, you'd been well away. I thought. Yeah,
we started the game well. I think Robertson a really good chance. I think if we'd nicked the goal in that game earlier on, I think it might have been a different game altogether. But I think that was the difference in the end. The boys' finishes, the two finishes were top class. I think if that was a Ronaldo scoring them goals, you'd be talking about it forever.
Oh yeah.
The two finishes, even the header as well, I thought was a quality finish. So that was probably the difference between the two teams in the end. It was just that wee bit more going forward. Dykes is, I think Scotland gets sucked into when Dykes plays. They go quite direct because of his size and his physique, and I don't think it really suits Scotland. I think we're actually not a bad footballing team, which I think was showed last night.
Yeah.
Thought we played some decent football at times. And so I was really impressed with Gilmore last night as well. I thought
he was terrific, wasn't he?
He was different class.
Yeah.
So Kev, sorry, go on.
Yeah, he wants on the ball constantly, which is great.
Yeah.
It's great having boys like that who take the ball under pressure. I think that's the difference between sort of, guys like, I think Aaron Ramsey's probably in the same mould. He would just take the ball wherever. It takes the pressure off your defenders when you've got somebody who just wants on the ball all the time.
So, quick question that I've got here from someone from Twitter is Ollie McBurney really injured?
I've got no idea.
All right, okay.
I mean,
He's got a direct line to Ollie McBurney.
I've not got one speed dial, to be honest with you. I might give him.
Have you spoke to Marshy?
Yeah, I keep in touch. We've got a wee ex-Cardiff player group chat thing still on the go on the old WhatsApp. So, I keep in touch with Marsh. I've been messaging him. He's obviously gave him a big thumbs up last night about his performance, and I thought defensively Scotland were different class last night. I thought the shape and everything was spot on, and it was the sort of the game plan worked last night.
And because obviously there was a lot of talk about England and how good they were. Obviously at every tournament, it's it's coming home and all that nonsense.
It's coming home.
Yeah. So was it just that Scotland just nullified everything that England wanted to do? Do you think, or were England poor?
Obviously, I've seen all the pundits speaking today, and they've talked about sort of how poor England were. I thought Scotland, their game plan was spot on. If anything, I thought they at times played the better football.
I agree.
Again, and bar stones his header off the post. I don't think they really created too many things, going forward, which for me, I'd give credit to Scotland. I must admit I was concerned because I thought Scotland might have to go for it a bit and would leave the sort of back door open, but I thought defensively they were really good. So I think credit goes to Scotland.
I particularly like the celebrations of the Scotland fans before and after the game.
They were brilliant, weren't they?
It's been a while, so we're trying to enjoy ourselves when we can.
I think there was one guy who threw himself in the lake in Hyde Park, didn't he? Absolutely stark.
He was lacking clothing. I think he was lacking clothing at the time.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
There was another one doing the worm on a train, on the tube.
In a kilt.
Yeah.
Magnificent.
Obviously not going on.
And there was the other guy who was walking across the street and got knocked over by a bike.
I've seen all these videos.
Have you seen them?
Honestly.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I've seen there must be flying around WhatsApp because I've had about 500 of them.
Yeah.
Kev, one of the other people we've talked about as well on the podcast before you joined us was Scott McTominay playing in that right centre-back role. Because I said to the boys when we were watching the game, I texted them and said Sterling was getting a little bit of joy just down that left-hand side, wasn't he? But he grew in stature, didn't he, in that unfamiliar role, Kev?
I think he's a different class of Scotland. I think he's in all honesty, I think he was probably one of the reasons why Scotland defended so well because, I just think he reads the game so well and he covers so well, whether he's playing midfield or defence. I think he's somebody's first name on the team sheet, in my opinion. I think he's got a great engine, stature as well. So he ticks all the boxes for certainly a centre half. So we might find himself playing there more often.
Yeah, he was brilliant last night.
So, and obviously, we can't get you on without going down Cardiff City Road.
Brewers.
Obviously, full of Cardiff City supporters in here today. What did you think of this season, Kev?
It's just up and down, really. Yeah. Really sort of up and down, yo-yo sort of season. Just remember somebody asking, I think it might have been you, Jason, I'm not sure, somebody asking me how many games, no, it was actually somebody else asking me how many games you should give Harris, and I think I said 6, and he went on to win the next 6 games.
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it? That kept him in the job, didn't it, Kev?
Yeah, kept him in the job, really. And then, obviously, the tipped again. So, total yo-yo season. I think, realistically, Cardiff should be looking for playoffs and, be pushing around them sort of area and try and I think be up and around there. So, it's a bit of a struggle this season.
It's important that we get off to a good start next season, I think, and we'll wait and see, how Mick McCarthy starts the season and whether or not we make any other signings. I personally think we probably need 4 or 5.
Yeah, definitely.
new players. And
Yeah, they need a couple
Kiefer Moore keeps banging them in the Euros, or maybe gets two. I think if he gets 2 more goals, a big team will be in for him for big money. And
well, he's looking good, isn't he, Kev? And that's the danger, isn't it, for City? If he carries on playing this well in the European Championships, then a big club will come in, won't they, Kev?
100%, yeah. It usually happens at World Cups, they get inflated prices if somebody has a good tournament. So, in all honesty, Cardiff going to do well, keep a hold of him really on his form and the way he's playing at that level. So he's sort of highlighted how good he is at that level. So,
how good do you think he is, Kev?
I think he's quality. Every time I've seen him, I think he's quality for the size of the player he is. His ability to bring people into the game, and he's actually a good finisher as well, which I think that's probably what's missing with the likes of Dykes. I think he probably has all the stature and keeps the ball up top, but I think in terms of his finishing, he's not really on the same level as of him.
And I think we've got a couple of questions from the socials on from a couple of people. Andy,
yeah, we got one here from Philip Perry. He said, "Who was the laziest person in training?"
Laziest?
Yeah.
He's going to say a goalkeeper.
He's got to be a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Totally. They do no work, do they, Kev?
Yep.
The goalies pretend that they're the busiest people in the world, honest to God. They've got their little union,
Yes.
Nice one, Kev.
They go on their own nights out and everything. It's just disgusting. Honestly, it's horrendous. But the laziest. I must admit, we had a really good core of fit lads at Cardiff when I was there. So I would never say there was anybody who was lazy. With certain boys who went at their own pace. I think Gary. This is quite surprising, but Gary Medell was a in terms of his stats for his training stats. We used to get all our GPS stuff. So Gary Medell was really low compared to everybody else in the squad. But at the end of the day,
read the game well, didn't he?
He probably didn't need to run it because he kept the ball so well. I remember seeing a stat like that. I think it was Pirlo in the World Cup. With the World Cup he ran, basically, you had the least amount of sprints for a midfielder or something like that. So I think all these sort of, in terms of GPS and things, are fine for guidelines, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really show you what players bring to the table.
So laziest, you're saying Michael Chopra, yeah?
Right. Yes,
Marshy.
Well, Chops is on my list. We're going to try and get Chopper on.
Oh, you
yeah,
really?
Yeah,
Good.
definitely. Can I just ask you quickly, Kev, about Rambo as well? Because obviously you played with Aaron. Neil Taylor was on our podcast last week saying you could put 300,000 fans in a stadium and Ramsey will be running to the goalkeeper saying, "Give me the ball." Is that something you saw from a very, very young age, Kev?
It's exactly the thing I said about Gilmore, and I think Rambo ticks that box as well. He would come and grab the ball from you. He just wanted to be on the ball constantly. So as a fullback, Steve McPhail was similar. He would come towards you and he would take the ball from you. So for me, it was perfect. I just concentrated on doing the defensive side of the job, and then you'd give it to boys like that who are obviously their quality on the ball was better than mine. So I was quite happy to pass it on to them. And when Rambo and boys like that want to get on the ball all the time, it does take pressure off boys at the back in terms of possession and things like that. But yeah, I would totally agree with that. He's probably the one player that in my career where I knew from the start, thought this kid's got a real good chance of playing at a high level after seeing him on the one training session.
Wow.
He was that good at just scoring with his left, scoring with his right, and playing a young VO game at the age of about 17, 16. You're running the show against guys like Robbie Fowler was there at the time, and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, boys like that. So he was running the show.
Wow.
At the age of 16, 17.
That's fantastic. What a great story.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was frightened. Me and Gavin Day used to speak about him. Said this kid's got a chance.
Yeah, and for Wales as well.
It could always go both ways. I've seen decent boys at that level, and they've not quite reached the sort of their potential. But for him, barring sort of that time when he broke his leg, he's went on obviously leaps and bounds, and he's had a great career.
Well, let's face it, if Wenger is in for you as well, you know you're going to have a pretty good career, aren't you? If Arsene Wenger wants you to play in that Arsenal era as well, in which they pass the ball so beautifully, Kev.
Yeah, definitely. I think Man United were after him as well.
Yeah.
I think both of them were were sort of champing a bit for him. I think actually Terry Burton being there, I think he's involved with Arsenal now. Terry Burton, assistant at the time. I think he had ties to Arsenal. I think he had some sort of involvement in terms of pushing him towards Arsenal. But he made the right choice in the end. I thought he had a great career at Arsenal.
Kev, you mentioned there obviously Jimmy, Floyd and Robbie and Chops and everything. Gareth on the Twitter says, who was the funniest player you played with at the club, and then got any funny stories that we may not know that haven't been shared in public?
Paul Quinn was a very, very funny guy.
Paul Quinn?
He was very, very quick-witted. Me and him were roommates. So it was one night actually we were out on a pre-season tour, and we got a night out on the last night, and we came back. Tom Heaton didn't go on the night out. He was the only player that never went on the night out.
Goalkeeper, you sensible.
Goalie,
yeah.
Another goalie. So me and him went into his room. Quinny grabbed the fire extinguisher from outside. But he thought it was one of the gas ones. So he thought, I'm going to spray him here with a gas one. It was sort of no problem sort of thing. So eventually, I ended up, I think I pulled the pin. So I think I was a wee bit culpable.
Your Honour.
I got away with this, by the way. But I pulled the pin, and then Quinny sprayed the fire extinguisher all over Tom Heaton. But it was one of the sand ones. It was one of the ones that fired all the dust. The whole room from head to toe was covered in dust, and Quinny took the blame for it. But I ended up getting away with it. My name was brought up a few times, but I managed to wrangle my way out. I was there. I stood and watched him do it. I wasn't involved, but I was actually the one that pulled the pin. But in many ways, I was involved.
Kev Mcnaughton Builders, if you want your room sandblasting.
But Tom's obviously woke up and his face is like covered in sand, and he's like on a coffin sitting on it. Sand's come off his head. I thought I was brilliant.
Hasn't Tom just signed for Manchester United, Kev, this week? I'm sure I saw that.
So yeah, I've seen that as well. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, we'll have to try and get him on.
The only guy that stayed in is the guy whose career's gone from stem to stem.
See,
the guy who stayed in is now at Manchester United.
See, goalkeeper, sensible.
And
Man
Kev, you mentioned as well Cardiff City WhatsApp group. I've got to ask you, as a big City fan, as you know, I'm a big City fan. Who's in that WhatsApp group then? The ex-players, who's in that?
We've got, I think, all the boys that are in it. We've got Marshy, Craig Conway, Don Cowie, Parkey, Hudds.
Yeah.
Ben Turner.
Oh, good lads. Good group of lads.
Yeah. I think it was still...
Kev, how does that make you feel as well, though, Kev? You know, as City fans as well, I told a few of my pals who were coming on the podcast as well, they were like, Kevin McNaughton, legend, one of the best players we've ever had at our football club as well. Because everyone who comes to Cardiff City and has a good career as well, it feels like, even though you've left us, Kev, that you're still very much part of our club. Do you love that feeling?
It's brilliant. I love coming back down to Wales. Obviously back up in Scotland now, but every time I go down, I was down last week actually watching the Wales game with my friends for his birthday. So I went down. It was brilliant. Just people you meet in the street all the time. I always get a friendly welcome when I get down. It's brilliant because I became a supporter of the club as well. You know, I was there 9 years, so you know you do become you become emotionally involved in the football club as well. So you know that's the sort of first team I look out for in terms of results. It's probably what I would call my team as well. You know?
Get in.
Yes.
Love that.
And also, you're keeping yourself busy now with this, you're a bit of an artist now, aren't you? You do like a bit of the painting and the sketching and all that.
That's what he's doing last night.
Funny enough, Andy here on my left, he normally writes with crayons.
I can't read all that.
But I've seen some of your stuff, Kev. Very impressive.
Yeah, I did it at school, and then just towards obviously the end of my career, I decided to get back into it, and then I had a few people wanting to buy stuff and things. So just set my own wee website, sell wee prints and stuff like that, and do bits and bobs.
You've got that iconic one, haven't you? When you're on top of everybody's shoulders in the old...
yeah, I've done a few wee bits and bobs.
That's a great one, that is. So anyway, if any of the listeners want to go out and check that, it's on Kevin's website. I think it's Kev Mac... Is it, Kev, the website, bigcartel.com?
Oh, Big Cartel, yeah. KevMac.bigcartel, I think it is.
Go there, get some get some exclusive prints and some artwork from Kev.
What are we doing? Are we taking 15% commission? Is that what we've agreed with Kev and his agent? Is it 15%?
I knew there was a catch here.
Kev, let's ask you about Wales and what you think of them so far and how you think they'll go against Italy and beyond.
It'll obviously be a tough test, but they always seem to rise to the challenge. Yeah, I think that's one thing. The big games, they've performed really well, and I thought the pressure was on them actually in the last game. I thought they rose to that. They really, they came out of that game. I'm sure they'll come out of that game with lots of confidence.
Yeah.
So, I like I said, we get comparisons with the sort of two nations because we're sort of similar in terms of size and stuff like that. But I think the quality of likes of Bale and Rambo's, I think that makes a difference. Makes such a massive difference for Wales. And I think they showed that the other night as well. The two of them, they thought they ran the show really.
So we've asked all our other guests, Kev, for their overall winners and their top goal scorer. So who are you going with?
Oh,
who's going to win?
The overall winner. I'm going to. This obviously the way to play them, but I actually fancied Italy from the start.
Italy. Oof.
Yeah.
We're writing these down.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
I've gone for Italy as well. Top goal scorer.
I had Griezmann before the competition, so because he's got to stick with him.
The only other question we haven't asked is which big team do you think will go out first?
I
reckon it's Germany.
Germany, sorry.
It's going to come from that group, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I reckon Germany.
What's the real in it? It's the group of death.
Yeah, horrific.
Yeah, Germany.
Brilliant.
Well, listen, Kev, we'll let you get on with your Peroni. It looks like, I reckon Kev's in bed there because he's got a headboard the same as mine.
He's not in your bed, Jay, is he?
Yeah, that's the same bed.
Look at that. What a great shot. Hang on, hold that shot. Keep that in, Kev. I'm going to get a shot of this for our Twitter feed. Go on, get in there. Get in there. Look at that. There it goes. Yeah. Wicked.
Thanks, Kev.
Yeah, no, Kev, I mean, legend. Thank you so much for doing this.
No worries, chaps.
And for agreeing to be with us. Really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you down a city again soon.
1 second, boys. Breaking news. Kev, just before, they told me I wasn't allowed to mention this, but we can't have you on our podcast.
Oh, God.
We cannot have you on the podcast without talking about the greatest free kick you've ever seen in a match in your testimonial. You cannot come on the podcast and not talk about it.
Where's that music from the Savage story?
It's all gone quiet. It's all gone quiet.
Proper keeper saves that.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I said, Kev.
Hey, Kev, come on, man. I'm dining my career out on this.
Unbelievable.
I have got so many corporates booked.
I've heard about this free kick about 5,000 times already.
Hey, listen, when you can't play football and you score a free kick...
You know what? I think the whole stadium was surprised, mate. I think that's what it was. There was just shock and awe in the stadium that day.
No, I don't think the whole stadium, the whole country is a surprise.
Thing is, Kev, as I walked back to the halfway line, Bella's turned round to me and said, "Worst run-up, worst free kick I've ever seen," and somehow I went in. But listen, it was an amazing opportunity, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was such an amazing day to be there with you and your family as well.
That was a good day, man.
It was a great day.
So, Kev, once again, thank you very much, mate. We'll let you get on with your day, and hopefully we'll see you soon. And, brilliant. Kev Mcnaughton.
Kevin McNaughton. Legend.
Yes, guys.
Super Kev.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kev.
Enjoy the Peroni.
Awesome.
Yeah, boys.
Legend.
Amazing. What a legend. Kev Mcnaughton.
Do you know, I said that in that interview as well, Jason, Andy, as well, is that, like you, I know a lot of City fans, proper hardcore, 40, 50 years, and they say McNaughton, absolute legend. I mean, in the top 20 greatest players we've ever had at our football club, Andy, and that's a big accolade, isn't it?
Well, I think the actual word legend gets used too much. But this guy, what a legend. Anybody who's anybody from a Cardiff City supporter's point of view, he's just... And again, 2015, when there was that, is he leaving, is he not leaving, is he signed the contract? and he didn't, and he left, and there was uproar with supporters, and people just didn't understand what was going on there. And we still don't. That's the crazy thing. But
I think he was probably the most consistent player in that
do as
era.
well.
Don't you think? We played some great football. He was Mr. Consistent. He was an 8 every single week.
Exactly. He spent the year being captain when Hunt was off.
Yeah.
With injury on 2011 to 2012. Then he played in the League Cup final, FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Now he's fair play.
Oh, brilliant. And it's great to have him on the show, A Bit of Blue. I'm just glad I managed to get hold of him.
We all know.
Thanks.
We all know who's booking the guests. It's fine. Andy, you do a
That's
great
right,
job.
I know, exactly.
Andy, you're looking, your hair's sticking up a bit. You need to sort yourself out, don't you?
That's all right, don't worry about it. I'll get it sorted
Nice
later on.
T-shirt he's wearing today. He's looking the most dapper out of us all, I
always
have to say.
do. I'm the smartest out of the three of us.
I love what
Because
he's
Jason and I rocked up in a pair of City shorts today, but he looks smart today. Fair
I'm
play.
always smart.
I love what he's done with his hair. How'd you get it to come out your nostrils like that?
Yeah, how do you do
that's
that?
right, yeah. Avon.
Is Avon sponsoring this podcast?
They
I think
are
it is
indeed,
now.
yeah.
It is now.
Oh, well, so talking about the socials and everything, don't forget we've got a Spotify playlist. Have you listened to that with Jason?
No, I haven't listened to it yet. I'm
You love
busy.
your music, don't you?
I do love a bit of music.
Who's your favourite band?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Whew, that's a big one. That's a big one. I would probably say Stone Roses or Happy Mondays.
Stone Roses. Well, there's plenty of Stone Roses and Happy Monday songs on our A Bit of Blue Spotify playlist.
Who's your favourite group, Jace?
Steps.
He beat me to it. My favourite.
It's a tragedy.
My favourite.
It's a tragedy.
I'm not even going to bother, honestly. I don't have the time or the crayons to explain.
There's
to
a
you,
great
but-
picture of you on your Twitter feed, by the way, because apparently you're some international DJ, aren't you? You and
no,
Carl
I'm not.
Cox.
No.
You and Carl Cox are big mates.
We've crossed paths.
Have you?
Some of the
Have you met the top DJs?
Yeah,
Have you really?
Bob Sinclair,
Oakenfold?
Big Tongue,
Right, yeah.
all the big names.
And now
yeah.
you're with me. I'm a DJ as well.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
Jay goes to his DJ sets with his carrier bags like he does when he turns up here.
I can't believe you walked
Like
in the
Roy
studio.
Cropper.
We got a brilliant, fantastic studio here, a crank in Cardiff,
Yeah.
with the legend Greg, one of the smartest men I know.
Yep.
You turn up in shorts and a carrier bag full of booze.
No, two carrier bags.
Two
today.
carrier bags.
One
But-
next one and one spa.
Jace, if you want to take this broadcasting thing seriously,
booze.
you've got to up your game, mate.
It's the boozers are for me. Oh, my game. Says the one who thinks Australia's playing in the Euros.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that.
We haven't forgotten.
How did Australia get on this week?
Well, I felt sorry.
Did they
for
win?
I felt sorry for them actually because they had a load of foreigners playing for them from Austria, and I think they should have had. It's a serious point. You know, they had a penalty given against them. Australia. Yeah, Australia.
I missed the Australia game.
Joe Mangle goes down in the box. Right?
Daphne turns up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, what happened?
well, they should have had a free kick before that penalty because the Dutch bloke has dived.
Yeah.
Threw himself on the floor to try and get a penalty. Plays carried on, and then the Australian guy.
He's saying Australia now as well.
There you
The
go.
Australian guy goes in and does make a foul on the Dutch player. Which
Make
is
a foul. Are you
Make a
watching,
foul?
Make a foul. Are
Create
you
a
watching?
foul.
Are you watching
What makes a
American commentary?
What's this, Blue
Hey,
Peter?
make a foul.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I saw that guy make a foul.
Yeah, he's what I made earlier.
Hey, hey, man, that's
and
a good brace
and
into the
he
net.
puts the penalty in the upper 90.
Make a
What?
foul in the upper,
Yeah, he made a foul, yeah.
in the upper 90.
He shouldn't have thrown that boomerang before as well.
But no, see, right, okay. So if you're playing the game normally, middle of the park, and somebody goes in for a tackle and
Yeah.
the player dives. He's got, he's not been touched and the player dives. The referee gives a free kick, doesn't he? And
Yeah, he
books
does.
the player that
Absolutely.
dives.
Yeah, that's a pen.
So why
You're right, Jace.
why didn't he do
Jace,
that?
yeah.
And where's VAR and all this?
Welcome to a bit of refereeing with Jason Trinder.
That's right, yeah. Where's the goalkeeper fit into this?
Shall we go back to the to the Spotify playlist, the favourite bands?
Yeah, let's go back to favourite bands. What's your favourite band,
70s,
and?
Dr. Hook.
Yeah.
Is that your favourite band? Dr. Hook?
yeah.
No way.
He went to see Dr. Hook in the 70s. It's the worst prostate examination he's ever had.
He's still up there now.
Did you have... What's your band, and?
Jamiroquai.
Top band?
Yep.
Jamiroquai.
Okay. What's yours, Jace? Did you give us one in
The
the end?
Smiths. Well, I did. I tried to get it out there in the end, but you just kept
Cracking.
interrupting.
Ah,
as normal.
It's a great show.
So not Steps then. You changed your mind again, have you?
No, the Smiths, I did say, and Greg will back me up on this because he's got it all on tape.
Well, Shall I see if we can...
tape? Does tape still exist?
Tape, yeah. That's what we say in the
Yeah.
business,
Still
isn't it,
going
Greg?
round? Are
He's
those-
on tape,
are
even though
those
it's on a
reels
digital machine.
Still going round.
I met Johnny Marr at a gig a couple of weeks back.
Oh, clang!
Greg was too late.
Yeah, don't worry, we can fit that in.
Basically, new listeners to the podcast, every time I drop in a story of celebrity pals, they call me And so I met Johnny Marr a few years back, and I went to one of the gigs, met him. We should get him on. He loves football.
Yeah.
So I see if I can get him on.
Who's Johnny Marr?
Oh, no.
Honest to God.
Oh, no.
It is, I mean...
Jace, what am I doing here? You know nothing about football, and he knows nothing about nothing. Anything else you want to talk about before we say goodbye?
Okay, I've just got a bit of a story here that I've actually found a brewery called ABITABLUE in America.
Really?
And they've actually got a beer there called Andy Gator. And
What?
And it's 8%, and it's described as a creature from the swamp. That's the truth.
They must have...
Right, we have to get a partnership with these people.
Definitely.
He's the national sales director.
If they're listening, and you're in charge of sales.
I've contacted them already.
Like, basically, Jace, you're in charge, just to let all our listeners know, you're in charge of sales, right? Jason's in charge of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm in charge of booking the celebrity guests.
Yeah, there we go.
So do you think we should do some predictions then? Italy, Wales. Score going to be?
Yes.
Italy 3, Wales 0.
Yeah, I was going to go 3-0.
It depends on what team actually Italy put out. So if they don't put out this
a good team.
Yeah, but they want to win
exactly.
it. They want to win the group. They want to keep that going, don't they?
I get that, but I'm going to go for a draw.
Oof.
2-2.
2-2, high-scoring game.
Desmond. Yeah.
Really? We can really see Wales scoring 2 past that Italy side.
Andy's going for Wales to score 2 goals against a team that haven't conceded in about 50 years.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable.
It's all right to go for a Desmond, isn't it? So
no, it is. Yeah, 2-2. Yeah. Croatia, Scotland. Let's start with you, Jason Trinder.
I think Scotland are going to be buoyant from last night, and I think they are going to win 1-0.
And it's at Hampden as well.
It's at Hampden as well.
Yeah.
So big game for the Scots. I think they're going to win 1-0.
Oh, good stuff. Wouldn't it be great? Wales, England and Scotland in the last 16.
It would.
Fantastic. And what are you going for?
2-1. Scotland.
Yeah. I'm going to go draw 1-1.
What happens
and
then?
Not enough. Well, it might be. They might get third place, mightn't they? They might get one of the third places. But highly unlikely.
No.
They only have 2 points.
Yeah.
Czech Republic, England. I think England will find their scoring boots. I think this weekend has been pivotal for Southgate. I think he's realised he needs Jack Grealish in the side. He needs to make a few changes. I'd stick Rashford up there as well. I go England 2-0.
I go 2-1 to England. Did you see the penalty for the Czech Republic against the Czech Republic?
No, I missed that. I was watching the Australia game.
Absolutely.
The Czech Republic were playing the Czech Republic.
Against... No, there were. It was against Turkey. Turkey. Turkey, was it, or Turkey?
No, Turkey are in our group, you idiot.
Oh, were they? Is that the same group as Hungary? Hungary. Sorry, or North Manchester. One of them, anyway.
Or Portsmouth. No, Portugal.
No, if you catch up with that, Jason, look at Lovren's penalty again. Unbelievable. The referee went to the
I saw he tweeted.
VAR.
He tweeted within an hour of the game, didn't he? He grabbed his phone and said, never a penalty.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Lovren.
not. It's absolutely not. But anyway, sorry.
So what are you going for?
Did I say 2-1?
2-1.
Yeah.
And changes for Southgate? Rashford's got to start.
Yeah, Rashford's got to start. Grealish has got to start. And that's about it.
Okay.
I thought the tape was going to run out then. Waiting for you there.
There you go.
And what are you going for?
And Harold Bishop up front. Sorry.
3-1 England.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they'll find their scoring
I
boots.
really don't like Gareth Southgate as a manager.
Why not?
Because I just don't think he's got the... He hasn't got a plan B. He didn't see what everyone else could see in that game last night. And I just think... But I think they'll win.
Do you think he's brave enough?
No.
I watched it last night thinking he just doesn't seem bold enough to make that call. Everyone watching that game was thinking, get Jack Grealish on. You know, he's the most fouled player in the Premier League, right, last year. Moisey, I think it was David Moyes who said, best player in the league by a mile at the moment. Towards the end of the season, right?
Exactly.
And yet you're watching thinking, make the decision, bring him on. You need to get up the pitch, bring on Grealish. He brought him on, 15 minutes too late?
Yeah. And you heard the cheer from the crowd when he got brought on.
Yeah.
You could feel everybody, not even English people.
Well, it was one of those, wasn't it?
What the hell's going on?
It was one of those, wasn't it, where the camera caught him when he was doing his laces up. You know that scene?
Yeah.
And you know that's not a good sign for the manager when the crowd all cheer when the player they want on the pitch is caught on camera.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? The fans have spoken. Get him on.
Okay, good. So, thanks again. for everybody for listening. I think we've got all that down. Most importantly, what we want you to do is to get in touch with us at A Bit of Blue on the socials. Email info@.
And we read every comment as well, don't we?
.co.uk and subscribe as well. So that's it for our second episode. Thanks to Greg, our sound and audio engineer, and Stuart, our music producer and editor. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you for listening. We'll see you all again next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.